Yo, what's going on, you guys? If you guys are currently watching this video, it means you should be subscribed to the channel. If you guys aren't, so it's all good. You now know who I am either way. But yeah, so I told you guys that I was gonna be dropping ebooks and all that stuff, and this is an ebook, but it isn't an ebook. We're just gonna be going over a whole scheme that you guys can start using to kind of start, popping dudes and shit. Excuse my language. So we're gonna be coming out in Gun Bunch. Now, I keep seeing split close ebooks and guides and stuff like that, and I don't see a lot of Gun Bunch. A lot of people are using Gun Bunch, but I don't see a lot of people putting out anything for Gun Bunch. So I figured, hey, why not help you guys get better at your bunch? Now, I will be trying to drop one of these every month for you guys, so you guys can kind of keep up with the meta. Bunch is still one of the metas. Now, a lot of people that you see on Weekly are using like West Coast, now West Coast. They're using split close and stuff like that, and I'm kind of sick of seeing split close. I'm more sick of seeing split close than I am seeing bunch. So today we're gonna be going over bunch. To start off, we're gonna be talking about Pat Sale, and the whole objective of this is so that you guys can start moving the ball really easily downfield. And one of the best plays to do that with is Pat Sale. Now, Pat Sale is one of those plays where you can max protect if someone is sending a lot of pressure and you don't know how to handle it. You can max protect and have 3 simple routes across the field that will benefit you. It will literally, if you guys watch me play, well, obviously you guys are sub to the channel, so you guys watch me play, and I'll run, I'll get stuffed, I'll run, get stuffed, and then I'll go to this as like a play where I can sit there and try to throw it deep or try to do this and try to do that. So this play specifically, I already max protected, but there's 3 things that you could do with this play specifically with just this one receiver, this Patterson route. And I don't leave that C route because C routes are kind of non-existent this year. I personally don't like them. But what you guys can do is put them either on a hitch, put them on a drag, or put them on a slant. Now, if you're going to put them on a slant or a drag, you're going to have to motion them out. So, mind you, that will kind of alert your opponent on what you are trying to do with this specific play. But either way, it's still a good play to run. Now, what this does, and I am in a random defense, but we are in quarters, so it is a passing defense. So if they are playing like cover 3, they're going to be playing purples. They're going to be playing curl flats. So right now, we're just going to showcase the drag just to get into the play. Drag literally works. Those are yards. Remember, you guys can't always look for the big play. That post route is disgustingly good. We're going to run the drag one more time. The post route is disgustingly good. It's literally gets over the top of most zones. As you can see, over the top, you obviously have your fastest guy there, and he will literally be burning a lot of the zones that the computer tries to place. Now let's put the slant. Slant is another one that you have to motion out. We only have 3 routes going against quarters. And as you can see, boom. The post, that deep post keeps running all the way across the field, and it really helps. So we're going to max protect, and we're going to put them on a hitch route. Now the hitch is possibly one of my favorites because if you guys are playing MUT and game modes like that, you can motion them out very fast. Now you put them on a hitch. Let's just run it. You put them on a hitch, and you have nothing but options right now. And as you can see, the post gets wide open. The post gets more open on the hitch because you have a route that's over there. I actually think I'm not in a. Oh, yes, I am. No. The hitch, it brings down any zone that's to that right side. Like, you can also motion a little bit, but it does kind of mess up your playmaker. But you can playmaker, and as you can see, that zone came down to try to guard the hitch, which left the post completely wide open. And if you got anybody with the playmaker chemistry or ability on your team, this play literally shreds because they won't know who to guard. So you put them on a hitch, motion them over. If you're going to motion the hitch, you got to motion them over really fast. As you can see, that post gets butt naked, wide open, hard to guard, plus you're max protected. Now, you obviously don't want to just leave it to those 2 specific things on this Pat Sale play. You can also leave the Gronkowski route if they're trying to blitz very heavy and you want to make like a quick read, and they're playing clouds. You can also leave that Gronk route, hit him quick because he also gets bumped a little bit by that little straight, that little streak route. Who are we in on offense? Okay, maybe we are calling the same play. Hold on. That safety came down that one play, so I don't want to lead you guys, you know, thinking you guys leave you guys thinking that I'm like running it on the same exact defense. So back to Pat Sale. So you can max protect, leave Gronk on his flat. But if you are gonna leave Gronk on his flat route, I would always suggest that you guys put Patterson on either his slant or his drag, so that literally you're just changing like the route combinations and stuff like that. Oh, he actually, I had square wide. Go one more time. Leave Gronkowski on his flat. We're gonna slant Patterson. Now, when you slant them, that's when like the user has to make a choice on what they want to guard. Obviously, the slant was the flat pattern with Gronkowski was there, which literally that's obviously gonna drag down any route that they're trying to use on anybody. Now, this streak right here with Hogan. It creates this weird little thing against man coverage where like they try to come down to play it first, and then they literally end up getting burnt. All right, so we're running the hitch right now. As you can see, the post gets completely wide open. If you motion the hitch, make sure you guys pay attention to the hitch, because sometimes that hitch gets open automatically because their user will chase the deep post from time to time, and that's what the hitch is for. You kind of want to confuse their user. Sometimes they'll bite on wherever you're hitching, and sometimes they'll literally just leave the deep post wide open for a nice gain of a good 20, 30 yards. Sometimes they'll end up getting more, don't get me wrong, but the hitch is there for that. Now, another thing that you guys can do is people don't look for this anymore this year, and I don't understand why, because it was so good 2 years ago, but people don't look for it this year. It was so good at the start of last year before 91 zone was actually discovered, and that is double drags. So I would streak Gronk, and I would streak my O receiver or B receiver if you guys are on Xbox, and you can motion them over, and boom. Now you have double drags. Double drags is hell, because obviously any cut that a receiver does, it kind of drags a zone out, and this play is pretty much you're always gonna get yards on a double drag. As long as you're hitting one of the drags, you're always gonna get yards on a double drag, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you never know, if you got good enough stick, you might be able to break out a big run with double drags, because double drags are hell. On top of double drags being very good, actually blitzing. On top of double drags being very good, it also, the drag that you're motioning over, I'm going to show you guys the drag that you're motioning over. It also, okay, they're blitzing again. It also brings down any zone that's trying to guard that deep post. So the deep post, good for 40 yards on that. So the double drags literally adds 2 different dynamics to the play. On top of that, you got the streak that's going over the middle. That beats man coverage. It beats most man coverages. I'm pretty sure Hogan isn't the fastest guy in the world, but even he is out here burning people on that little streak. So you got the double drags. And the big thing about the double drags is you guys can't be afraid to take your yards. Obviously, you want this play open all the time, because it is almost a guaranteed 40 yards a pop if they don't guard it. But you guys got to try to make a profit, because a lot of the times a lot of people will sit there and they'll wait too long to make their read, and we got O open right now. And I had the square route coming open, but imagine if there was like a blitz coming, or they got an insta shed. I don't want you guys to sit there and take 10 years to make a read, all because you want to take the 40-yard play. Now, that's Pat Sale. That's pretty much all I kind of want to cover out of Pat Sale, because the check and release route is kind of trash. You got the Gronkowski flat. You got the Hogan route. Hold on, let me just show you guys the Hogan route. The Hogan route is actually pretty good. Let's put the defense. What's the defense in? Actually, this might be perfect, but we're going to put him on a... I'm going to put triangle outside. So the Hogan route. I can't see how fast Hogan is compared to the other whatchamacallit, but as you can see, that Hogan is burning them. completely burning both of those guys, and he ended up double covered. I don't know why it's going into the same plays over and over, but time. Actually, we're gonna leave Knock on a route. I don't know why it's not. It didn't change my play. So we're gonna put Bronk and them on that. So that Hogan route, as you can see, he's in front of him. And when you're in front of the defender in this game, you end up getting like that rack ag that you would think, oh man, this is glitchy, this is fluke, but it happens too often for it to be fluke. That is how EA designed it in the game. I know it's trash. You guys probably don't like it. It's terrible. It's just not fun for it to happen. But as you can see, he is completely torching him on that. And I probably could have just bullet past that, but I ended up just lobbing it. But as you can see, he's completely torching him. And I'm actually going to show that even though the ball wasn't placed in the right spot. But he's right there. That little delay literally kills him. As you can see, he completely just starts burning him on the route. He's burnt. No matter what, that dude is completely torched. So let's go into the next play. And this is another good play for you guys to know. And the play we are going to be looking at is Pat's Vert. Now, Pat's Vert is one of those plays that if they're blitzing, this is probably one of the better plays to run. We're going to run a random play. Random play. So we're running a random play. This is quarters. Obviously, this route right off rip, this little out route with the running back is really, really good because it's coming straight out of the backfield. You know what I mean? You're gonna get yards on it. Also, you've got the deep crossing route. Actually, let's move this right in the middle. You got the deep crossing route that gets open over a lot of zones. It's kind of the same as the deep post route. As you can see, it gets in between zones as well, even though he got bumped. And on top of that, one thing that you guys can do out of this verticals play that confuses a lot of people, you can motion out your guy because that sometimes still works. And oh dang, he actually played coverage. Good defense. Obviously, man coverage is a very good way to stop this. Very, very simple. But a lot of the times, people are running this if you guys are blitzing. Like, if someone is blitzing you, that's when you kind of want to run this. A man blitz, you might end up getting stopped on it. You might not, depending on your personnel on your offensive side. But that's what a lot of people like to do, is they like to motion out that outside receiver. And because they keep playing man coverage, this play just isn't going to work because the Patriots receivers just aren't that good. All right, this actually doesn't look like they're playing man coverage, obviously. But when you do that white route, whoever's using this, the Gronkowski route or the running back route will get completely wide open. If you have enough time, the Hogan route will end up developing wide open over the top. And on top of that, the outside route, that route sometimes gets open on its own. And the Hogan route, as you can see, gets bumped by the running back and leads to Hogan being wide open. They are still blitzing, which is kind of annoying, but we're going to keep running it until they're not blitzing. As you can see, Gronkowski, if they're playing zone, one route or the other will get open. The halfback route will end up getting usered by the user, which will leave the tight end route. If they try to use the tight end route, the halfback route will end up wide open. I'm actually going to show the replay on that because I don't have a user to show you guys, which is kind of... So, as you can see, the running back, you hit the running back straight out of the backfield. That's a good possible 10 yards plus. The tight end route, wide open, curling up, another 10 yards. That is a solid 10-yard gain, and if you got a fast enough tight end with good moves and stuff like that, on regs, if you got like a Travis Kelce, I know Travis Kelce's got like a sick juke move or spin move, one or the other, and you can break out for a very, very nice yardage gain on. But even Gronkowski, who's kind of on the slower end, is able to get 10 yards while you have the running back on this side that's there with a good solid 10 yards, and running backs are, they're skilled players, so you're going to be able to get even more yards with those type of people. And whoever's a user, they always go for the right side routes, and some of them will go literally try to chase the deep crossing route, which leaves those two routes open all over again. All right, so that's pretty much it for verticals. You can also like put a guy in a flat and stuff like that, but then it just like you're just doing a lot of work, even though that was actually a pretty good dot. Now that was, I streaked the running back out of the backfield and I put Gronkowski in a drag. Now, but this specifically right here, it kind of needs time to develop. You know what I mean? But you have the drag there that's easy to hit and stuff like that. But it does take time to develop for something like that. That's why I kind of didn't want to, like, I don't really want to show you all that, because I want you guys to be able to make your reads. And if someone is like screaming at you, it's going to be tough to make like easy reads. That's why the pat seal play is so good. As you can see, it's a force. That's why that pat seal play is so good, because it's quick reads and you have a very good man beater on top of having the drag or the hitch and this and that. It's just really good. It's just a really good play. This one is a really good play, but it's mainly if they're playing like zone coverage and stuff like that. Now, if you guys want extra blocking, you can also do this. Put him down there, and you got the drag wide open because he is in man coverage. And still, you're making a profit, so that's perfect as well. Now, that's it for verticals, because that's probably the third best play in that playbook if you guys are facing a lot of zone. Now, you guys can always hit your mid draw. Don't forget to always sprinkle in a run play. Now, if I have it in this playbook, all right. Now, one of the things that a lot of people are running on people are crossing blitzes. So like crossfire and stuff like that. You see a lot of people are running these. Now, when people are running like crossfire on me, I tend to run the opposite way of where the guy is looping from. So this guy is looping from the right side to the left, so I'm gonna run it from the left to the right, because you're trying to get out of the way of that looper. Because if you're running towards where the guy is looping, you're literally running towards the extra run protection. As you can see, he's looping, and only way he's stopping me right now is just by getting a shed. That is literally it. He's not stopping me by actual run defense, because any looping blitz is not run defense. You just run the opposite way of where they're looping, and you'll know, because they'll be usering the other guy. Like, this is your crossfire out of 3-4 odd. They'll be using the opposite guy, which means that they are looping from the right to the left. Simple. Which leaves you able to sit there and try to run up the field and stuff like that. This is on All Madden, so it's kind of tougher to showcase it. But a lot of you guys that are going to be playing like on All Pro and like Weekend League and shit like that, you're not going to have to deal with this type of stuff. Simple. Now, let's go back to the other passing plays. Always make sure that you guys are sprinkling in your runs, because obviously that keeps your opponents off balance, and then they got to worry about that instead of sending two with a spy and the rest, everybody else covered on your field. Now, next play in the Patriots playbook, Pat's curl flat. Go back into quarters. We are going to go into that random play, Pat's curl flat. Now, this is one of those plays that if you guys are from the middle to the left, if you have your bunch side on the right side, this is one of those plays that from the middle, you want the ball either through the middle, you want it here to the left side. So, like, if your bunch is to the right, you want the ball literally from here through here. You don't want it on the right side and run it to that specific side. You'd have to run it towards the left side. Now we're just going to run it straight from the left side just to show you guys. This curl flat play. Now, obviously, they might be manned up. But what you want to do with this play, you want to streak your O receiver, and you want to have a far dragging over from the far side of the field. Now, this curl flat play, this has been the same thing for like 30 years now. It gets over every single zone, and of course, they are in coverage. So I'm just going to throw it, though they are not. But This play gets again. Really? I'm okay. I'm just gonna go. This play gets over the top of every single zone for some, and it's the most annoying thing. As you can see, they are in a purple because I was in a cover 3. And this play literally gets over the top of every single zone, especially if you have a zone to come down and bring it down with you. And that's what that drag does when it comes across the field. As you can see, he's backing up. He's backing up, backing up, backing up. And then the drag comes through, and then he goes down to play that. He's in a purple. There's no reason why he should be playing that drag. Obviously, you can hit the drag and end up getting a few like you can end up getting good yardage on that. And I recommend you do. As soon as you see that drag open up wide open, that's a good you put a move on this guy, that is a good solid 10 plus yards. Once again, that's a good solid 10 plus yards because you're literally going to be catching it here and you're going to be going all the way upfield, putting a move on this guy, and then next thing you know, you're scoring a touchdown. You never know. That's why I always recommend you guys to hit your drags. I am a victim of doing that myself. I literally will just always go for trying to get the deep play, but sometimes you need a deep play. Sometimes you don't. But this is one of those plays that drags down a lot of zones, pretty much every single zone. As you can see, he's in a purple, and we still end up dotting him over the top. And that's what you'll see a lot of good players do. They'll run that curl flat play or like a mesh play, and the zone just gets over the top. And this is simple. This is all you need to do. And on top of that, if they're playing cover 2, oh, this is actually is a cover 2. You have the route that should get open right there. Actually ended up playing that. All right. So as soon as they get over the top of the run of the linebacker, you should be able to throw that route completely wide open. Now, they are. Oh, he's actually blitzing me. You can see we still are able to get the dot. Now the streak is there. The streak is there just to drag up whatever zone that you guys have. You can fade or streak, of course. It's there to suck back every zone that would play that deep corner route. Because obviously you don't want your corner route to be played. He sits there, he plays the drag, which leaves you wide open. And this is a play that a lot of people don't even run when they run bunch. They sit there and they try to still run corner strike. Stop fucking running corner strike. That play sucks this year. It's terrible. All you got to do is man up the corner route, and the corner route that's it. It's clamped. There's nothing you can do about it. The corner route sucks this year. It's possibly the worst route in the game because it takes time. It takes time to develop, and it doesn't even beat man coverage this year. It sucks. It's terrible. Now they are in a man coverage, but we got the drag underneath. That is going to be able to, we got the drag that's underneath that's going to be able to outrun a lot of the cornerbacks that are obviously not playing right above. So got Dorsett, and this is literally another one of those plays that you can max protect and end up running on people. Oh, we got another one. Oh, he actually bumped him, which left him wide open over the top for a nice gain of a good 30. One of the best plays in the game, regardless of who you're playing, who it is, and what they're saying. This is one of the best plays, and it's literally this simple. You streak O or B if you're on Xbox, and you drag Dorsett or square or X if you're on Xbox. And it's just a money play. Oh, I try to hit the drag. It didn't let me. So let's run it one more time. Hopefully they run a zone, but they keep running man coverage because it's the computer and they want to be as aggravating as possible. They're blitzing right here. Oh, shit. Okay. Go ahead and blitz me again. Yeah, they keep. And Brady's gonna overthrow. So we're just gonna get over to the next play because that's gonna get annoying. And I'm too proud. We gotta get. And then they run man coverage, like bruh. And then they run double. Like everybody was double manned up. All right, we're just gonna go to the next play. I ain't that proud. The next play, and I think this might be the final play in this playbook that's actually really, really good. And this is why this is why people are rocking with the Patriots playbook, is because it is so good. Now, corner strike is still a solid formation to rock with. I'm not gonna lie, it's still a decent play, but the corner route, you man it up, you're clamped. That's it. You man up the corner route and you're completely clamped up. Like that's it. Both corner routes literally just aren't. They're just not good this year. I'm just gonna come out in a cover one thief. Both corner routes just aren't that great. As you can see, I'm literally just running the play just to show you guys how bad these routes are. And it might just be because the Patriots route runners aren't that great, but I thought the Patriots had decent route runners, and this is what happened. This is Patterson's route. Look at how slow that cut is. That isn't beating EJ on a route. Obviously the speed ended up catching up and you ended up looking like you might be able to throw it. And the other side, these guys are all manned up. Yeah, no one is breaking open. No one is breaking open. The DBs are right there, and that's exactly why corner strike this year is trash. It's doo-doo. And I don't like, you guys just shouldn't run it at all. If you do want to run it, it literally will be against zones, because obviously the corner route is deep enough to beat a lot of zones, as well as the Patterson route that's on the right side. And on top of that, you do have the table route with the running back that you guys will be able to get yards with. If someone is constantly running zone, then you guys will be able to run corner strike. But as long as you're playing someone good who's going to be manning people up, those dudes are going to be so clamped that you guys are going to have nothing to do. Like, they're just going to be extremely clamped up. This is the only route in corner strike that's actually viable to use now. All right, but let's get into the last play that you guys can use. Dominate. And of course, we are talking about 5-1-8 hook. 5-1-8 hook is one of the good ones. Well, because it's another route that gets over the top of a lot of zones. It gets over the top of every single zone. But the only problem with it is an S route. You know what I mean? So you can max protect. You can put Hogan on a hitch this time. Hogan on a hitch, a drag, doesn't matter because the zone isn't going to be there. You can put Dorsett on a streak. Now that's something that a lot of people aren't gonna expect when they're running zones, is you putting your outside receiver on a streak this year. So that definitely helps you out, because if you guys want to burn your guys, as you can see, that actually beat man coverage better than the goddamn corner strike route. So the route is really, really good. On top of that, you can actually put Hogan on. You can put Hogan on a streak. There's like different variations of it. You can put Hogan on a streak while Dorsett on a slant or a drag. I personally would put him on a drag just to have better coverage with it. Okay, actually, Dorsett was actually open, breaking open middle. So Dorsett being faster, obviously a good option to have running across the field. As you can see, the drag is wide open. Now, this play I personally don't use as often as the Pat Sail or the curl flat, but this play is definitely a good one to mix in, because you get to a point where people start manning up R1 and O pretty much constantly, because that's all you run is Pat Sail and curl flat. And I'm showing you this because I learned from experience that it's always good to mix up your plays that you guys are running. So you guys can put Hogan on that, Dorsett on that. But I like putting Dorsett on a drag, because a lot of the times they're manning up that route because they want to try to stop. They want to try to stop the whatchamacallit. And that route gets over the top, and Brady overthrowing it. Awesome. Okay, stop showing off. Stop showing off. Brady overthrew that route, but as you can see, it got over the top of whatever route was over it. Now, another thing that you guys can do to make this 10 times better is introduce people to the double drags again. You can streak Gronkowski, you can streak Hogan, but make sure one of them ends up on a drag route. So you want Gronk on a drag? Go ahead. That's fine. Just make sure that you got the double drags going. And what that does is any zone that's coming over the top, as you can see, everybody is open right now. Gronkowski was open, Dorsett was open, and Patterson was open. Everybody ended up open because we're back to introducing the double drags. The double drags is hell because it destroys man coverage. Like, if they're base aligned, you're going to beat man coverage by running a double drag. You're going to destroy man coverage, and they are blitzing right now, which leaves Patterson wide open over the middle. As you can see, we're running this on random defenses too, and every single time it's pretty much working because the double drags just work, man. Double drags just work. You got, look, Profit. Profit, profit, profit. And if you got a good tight end, you might be able to sit there and like bulldoze people over for more yards. Always take your short reads, man, because they will demoralize an opponent. Like, and a lot of people don't realize that. Like, taking those short little routes literally demoralizes people, and it makes them start playing hard flats. And when they start playing hard flats, you already know everything over the top on corners is going to be wide open. So if you guys haven't, start rocking this, man. Let me know how it works for you guys. I know you guys watch me a lot, so you guys kind of already know how I play. Oh, actually, nobody got open on that. But we still got dots for days. Talk to them, baby. All right. But yeah, that's the final play. Don't forget, mix in your runs, mix in whatever you guys want. Just make sure that if you guys are running bunch, those are the top. These are the top plays in bunch. Also, bunch trail is good, but obviously the route that's on the opposite side is just that little curl route, so it's kind of a little suspect. You know what I mean? But we got pat sail, we got verts, we got curl flat, we got a little tiny bit of corner strike because of the table route. That's the only reason. And we got the 518 hook, man. Don't forget, man. Take your short routes. My name is, you guys should already know it, so I'm not even gonna say it because it sounds like I'm like I got a big ego. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this, man. If you guys like this, let me know. All right, and I will try to drop one of these like every 2 weeks or every month or something like that with like a new type of meta that people are running. All right, you guys should be subbed to the channel, so I thank you guys for for supporting the channel and stuff like that. So hopefully this helps you guys become better Madden players and shit. Cause I'm all about that. So yeah, I'm out. Now I'm just rambling because I feel like I'm streaming now. Yeah, I'll see you guys during streams. Later, guys.